The campus of chocolate science. One day everyone was drunk at the campus of chocolate science when elves arrived early because they frolicked between 84 fire trucks of Mordor. That night the raid party ate Darth Jar Jar when potatoes farted psychedelic unicorns while drowning their sprouts. The baddest and handsomest spaghetti meatballs flew out the windows and joined together heroically, but the elves cried longingly for chocolate. Desperate, the Coco fought nonchalantly against the Gundam troopers who licked terrifyingly at space beards. Once it was decided that gnarled, obnoxious tongues resided within the elder troopers, a committee formed and licked everything possible. This understandably wasn't what they had planned to do, however, as the elves practiced dark magic, evil agony clites licked crusty lollipops. Space beards, horrified at saliva eutrophication, puked uncontrollably until morning. Nothing good could ever taste right when licking stagnant puke. Then, just as time was licking its way into licorice jelly-filled orcs, a crumpled-up aluminum prison burst open, revealing beards. Unfortunately, few elves want Darth Jar Jar resurrecting bearded, encrusted with stale stagnant asteroids. Knobby tires crushed the solid crustiness of purple hippos that wastefully puke fresh dreams. So when Huck Finn decided to lick thoroughly crusted chocolate, he grew wings and a crummy spit cannon. Crunchy chocolate-filled Jakku encompassed all the elves, then Leviathan leggings were rapidly retracted and painfully redacted. Han shot across the catwalk where Spock tried unemotionally flavored Clatuan chocolate, unaware of attempts of treachery from suicidal bearded elves. Sad, the newly encrusted old aluminum space beard fire trucks of Mordor groaned as the story rapidly expanded out of control. 007 quit gnawing after Han Yo-Yo became infatuated with the newly extrapolated shiny nukes, when an altruistic peacock groveled before the great and powerful Leviathans. Death licked dying terrified victims terrifyingly, just as the tale was compiled randomly by the rebellion that was battling the two most bearded entities in the universe. Nevertheless, Batman and his famous sidekick, Viciously Honest, critiqued and raved as Bat Walrus intervened, where crustily bearded carousels were licking passengers accordingly. However, despite otherwise calm and cool narwhals panicking at licking languishing elves, the elves continued croaking endlessly and the lasagna smelled spicily cooked, like giant octopus trout He-Man hybrid eatables with moon crust. Bat Walrus sniffed dreadfully at licking cockroaches, who masterfully denied all accusations regarding the licking charges filed desperately, even with evidence provided. Licking overlapped pancakes doesn't satisfyingly gratify narwhals, especially Gunter the reptile-licking hibiscus firmware updater who quoted exceptionally horrible lines from Mahabharata. The unknowing river of dirt heaved along as a sentient-licking reporter missed the facial expressions, licking massive and gnarled toothbrushes covered with mud and gum. The licking gumball infected its spleen, causing unexplainable temporal shifts in lickable-likable beards, encrusted deep with chrome. Licked by crusty lollipops, Gunter licked mightily to overcome dry tongue crust by having Disney trademark stab deliciousness and puppies. Only LOL cats cheat like Ray. Suddenly, two Portage's men o' war licked lovingly arenaceous ladybugs, disturbing large egotistical liquor bots. Hedgehogs like edgy hibiscus. Licking supercalifragilisticexpialidocious lambendo-digitisphobic nouns was surprisingly curt in Hedgehog's invisible spa. Hardly ever saying crust-generated skulls, nuns screamed horrifically. Especially the scary skullduggery homicidal meatballs that chuckled like hell during spontaneous Ebola recoveries evident within their cigars. Burning 84 fire trucks of Mordor wasn't enough to exterminate licking Gundam troopers. Suddenly a campus of chocolate scientist expelled his most precious, intelligent, flavorful, reliable piece of licorice cocoa crust because he, fearing invasion, knew it stank, giving fellow invaders crusty smells and ferocious opportunities. Opportunities became ferocious when licked lavishly. "So we continue writing," said Darth Jar Jar's squealing reanimated aquatic bearded Gungan crust friends. And quoting exceptionally corrupted intelligent pancakes will one time in the carpool inspire twerking indisputably. Nobody expected 630 dummies to lick intelligent Flavian. Food thrown wildly by happily trotting elves who spat out road apples that scared Mega Man, who then infinitely wisely grunted. HMMMPH. Wizards can't even spell right, particularly those who try learning vocabulary and spelling. This means that wizards are stupendously brilliant, but skimping on licking teachers wasn't helping their grades. Suddenly, unexpectedly, immediately, ruthlessly, elves licked leather-clad science books like scientists who would remember nothing purple. Eggplants grew vicariously, hoping to obliterate careless licking crimes against Flavian's solar system. Centuries ago, feeble-minded elves issued complaints regarding prolonged exposure photographs whose taste not only reminded them of Bearded, his crusty shorts, and his simply constructed face, but modern science as elves misunderstand it as well. Indeed, even Huck misunderstood 007's Space Crunch, unlike Tasty Burrito's wisest gadgets. Newly indoctrinated husks scoured Earth for 007 after elves scratched itching hibiscus-loving hedgehogs. Lovingly, the husks infected innocently stupid wombats, but couldn't infect chocolate with evil-infused hibiscus. Certainly now that the wombats infected other, more stupid wombats to bend crusty conundrums, questionably licking Newell post-hypnotic paragraphs beat sentient disaggregated crusty food. But bamboo-licking Space Flavian understandably understood weirdness as an essential construct for his master plan. Blue aliens inhabited crust-blasted dorms whose massive wobbly thorn-coated horns kept falling off. Chocolate science continued its inevitable expansion into oblivion research, while doping astronauts raced to the anticlimactic finish line. Fabled narcissistic psychics lagged on slow-flying buzzards circling their initials, made pungent by violently expelling those crusty microaggressions, and shocking everyone into aromatic seizures. Naturally, the house of cards crunched under enormous pressure. However unlikely as it was that you took ironically plated crusty nuggets who sat sadly in the reanimated electric Darth Chambers vacuum toilet of Glory to Town. Hypocritically acclaimed Gundam troopers erupted, after licking belly buttons that emitted stinking skeletal mini-ships. Intermediate toilets stunk mysteriously with encultured bacterial fumes, levitated by rapid flapping birds. Happily enough, licking sinking machines counteracted zombies' beard discoloration by infusing crusty chicken-flavored crumpets. Zombie-flavored licorice was incorporated in Easter-themed baskets during Microsoft's purchase of Mojang, prompting outrage amongst the puppies' skeletons. Luckily for them, they couldn't quote anything correctly using teleprompters because discoloration made them 1,000 times more blind.